You've seen this camera 1,000 times. On a street corner, in a store, watching over a public square. It's become part of the background of our lives. You probably don't even notice it anymore. But what if I told you that this simple, silent observer has secretly evolved? That it's no longer just a passive, dumb machine, but an intelligent spy that knows your face, tracks your every move, and is beginning to predict what you'll do next. This isn't a movie plot. This is the reality of AI CCTV, and it's quietly building a future that feels less like a choice and more like an inevitability. A future we desperately need to talk about right now. To understand how we got here, let's rewind to the not-so-distant past. For decades, CCTV, closed-circuit television, was, well, pretty dumb. Its only job was to record grainy footage onto tapes or later hard drives. That's it. And this created a bizarre problem. We were capturing an unbelievable amount of video, but almost all of it was useless in real time. It's a well-known fact in the security industry that well over 90% of all that footage was never even seen by a human. Finding a single moment, the face of a thief, the license plate of a getaway car, meant someone had to manually sift through hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of tape. These systems were purely reactive. They could only help you figure out what happened yesterday, not what was about to happen in the next 5 minutes. But that massive inefficiency was, in a strange way, a form of privacy protection. The sheer mountain of data made mass surveillance functionally impossible. The system was limited by the attention span of the single human watching it. That human limitation is now gone forever. Think about that for a moment. Do you remember a time when you could walk through a city and feel truly anonymous? Is that feeling even possible anymore? The revolution began when we gave the cameras a brain. By plugging in artificial intelligence, the passive observer became an active, tireless analyst. The market for this technology has exploded, with some projections showing it growing to over $28 billion by 2030. Today's AI CCTV systems can do things that would have taken an army of human operators just a decade ago. It all starts with the one you've heard the most about: facial recognition. Modern algorithms can spot a face in a crowd, analyze its unique features, and try to match it against huge databases. While some controversial companies have scraped billions of photos from social media, most law enforcement systems use official databases like DMV photos or mugshot libraries, still counting in the millions. But it goes so much further than that. These systems now perform multi-object detection, tracking not just faces but cars, license plates, and even specific pieces of clothing all at once. They use behavioral analysis to flag unusual activity, often without being told what to look for. Imagine you're waiting for a friend on a street corner, pacing back and forth because you're bored. To a human, your behavior is perfectly normal. To an AI, you're an anomaly, someone loitering where they shouldn't be. The AI flags it in real time. It begs the question, who gets to define what normal behavior is, and what happens when your version of normal doesn't match the algorithms? And where are these systems? Everywhere. Police departments in major cities use them to identify suspects and try to predict crime hotspots. Airports use AI to monitor passenger flow from the moment you walk in the door. Retail stores use the exact same technology, not just to spot known shoplifters, but to track how long you look at certain products, and even analyze your facial expressions to guess if you're going to buy something. But the most powerful and chilling capability is what researchers call clustering. This is the system's ability to recognize you across different cameras at different times and in different places. It connects the dots. It sees you leave your office, get on the subway, walk through a mall, and meet a friend. Each sighting is just another data point, used to build a detailed digital map of your life, your habits, your routines, your relationships. A map you never agreed to have drawn. A map that knows you go to a specific church, or a specific doctor's office, or attend a political protest. So why are we all going along with this? The justification is always the same two words: security and efficiency. The argument is that AI surveillance is a game changer for public safety. It promises to find threats faster and help police be more efficient. An AI can watch every single frame of video, something no human could ever do. Proponents point to cases where it has helped to quickly locate a missing child or identify a terrorist suspect. And we all feel that pull. Of course, we want our communities to be safe. But at what cost? What are we giving up for that feeling of security? Because that promise has a dark and dangerous side. The reality is a world of unchecked surveillance where our fundamental right to privacy is being quietly traded away. First, there's the devastating problem of bias. Study after study has shown that facial recognition algorithms have higher error rates for people of color and for women. The landmark Gender Shades project found error rates for identifying darker-skinned women were as high as 34%, while they were less than 1% for lighter-skinned men. This isn't a theoretical problem. This bias has led to documented cases of wrongful arrests. Men like Robert Williams, who in 2020 was arrested in front of his wife and daughters because a flawed AI matched his driver's license photo to a grainy image of a shoplifter. He was held for 30 hours for a crime he didn't commit. He is not the only one. There are at least 13 other publicly known cases of people being wrongfully arrested based on a faulty AI match. Let me ask you this. What is an acceptable error rate when a person's freedom is on the line? Is any rate acceptable if the system is proven to be biased against certain groups of people? If you train an AI on biased data from a world full of human prejudice, you don't get a neutral machine. You get a machine that automates and amplifies that prejudice on a massive scale. Then there's the terrifying reality of mission creep. A system installed to catch terrorists can just as easily be used to monitor peaceful protesters. A camera in a store to stop theft can also be used to build detailed profiles of you for advertisers. The line between security and commercial spying gets very blurry, very fast. And finally, there's the massive risk to your data. These huge, centralized databases of our faces and our movements are a goldmine for hackers. You can change a stolen password. You can't change your face. And the scariest part? Most of us have no idea who has our data or how they're protecting it. As this technology has spread like wildfire, some governments are finally starting to wake up to the dangers. The biggest move so far is the European Union's AI Act. In a landmark decision, the EU has banned the use of real-time facial recognition in public spaces for law enforcement. It also bans AI for social scoring, or for exploiting people's vulnerabilities. Now, the ban isn't absolute. There are very strict exceptions for serious crimes, like finding a missing child or preventing a specific terrorist attack. But these require judicial authorization. The United States, on the other hand, is a total mess. There's no federal law governing this technology. Instead, you have a chaotic patchwork of rules that change from one city to the next. Cities like San Francisco and Boston have banned government use of the tech, citing the risks to civil liberties. But in most places, it's a free-for-all, especially for commercial use. Do you even know what the law is where you live? Should you have to be a legal expert just to understand if you're being tracked as you walk down the street? The fundamental problem is that the technology is evolving much faster than the laws. While politicians are debating the rules for today's cameras, a new generation of surveillance tech is already here, and it's going to make the current systems look like children's toys. If you think today's surveillance is invasive, the technology currently in development will create a world of total, inescapable monitoring. The next wave is powered by two things: Edge AI and 5G. Edge AI just means more of the processing happens right on the camera itself, not in a distant cloud server. This cuts down the delay to almost zero, allowing for instant analysis and tracking across a city-wide web of thousands of cameras. Mix that with the super-fast speeds of 5G, and you have the perfect recipe for automated real-time response systems. This will power the frightening rise of predictive policing. AI systems are already being used to forecast where crime might happen, but the next logical step is to predict who might commit it. These pre-crime systems analyze your movement patterns, your known associates, and even your online activity to assign you a risk score before you've done anything wrong. In Chicago, a heat list algorithm labeled hundreds of young black men as likely to be involved in gun violence, despite many having no criminal history. This creates a terrifying feedback loop, where an algorithm's bias can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, leading to the over-policing and harassment of entire communities. Imagine being denied a loan, a job, or even entry to a public space, not because of anything you've done, but because an algorithm silently passed judgment on you. And the tracking will become multimodal. It won't just be your face. Future systems will combine facial recognition with gait recognition. analyzing the unique way you walk. They'll add in your voice patterns, thermal imaging from drones, and even track your phone's Wi-Fi signal to create a web of identification that's nearly impossible to escape. Is there another way? Some researchers are working on privacy-preserving surveillance. Things like federated learning can train AI models without collecting all the sensitive data in one place. Other systems are being designed to spot threats by analyzing movement patterns, not individual faces. But these alternatives are fighting an uphill battle against a multi-billion-dollar industry where profit is tied directly to more data collection, not less. We are standing at a critical turning point. The technology for a total surveillance state doesn't just exist in science fiction. It's being installed right now, all around us, often hidden in plain sight. The financial incentives are massive, and the excuse is always the same: our own safety. What started as a simple, dumb tool for security has secretly become an infrastructure of control. That camera on the corner is no longer a passive guard. It's an intelligent spy, building a permanent, searchable record of our public lives. The question isn't if we're being tracked anymore. The question is what we are going to do about it. Do we accept this slow, chilling creep into our private lives as the price of feeling safe? Or do we demand a future where technology serves us, without enslaving us? The next time you walk past a camera, remember, it's not just watching, it's learning. And what it learns about us today will build the world we all have to live in tomorrow. If this video made you stop and think, make sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the tech that's shaping our world. And I really want to know your thoughts on this, so let me know in the comments. Have we already gone too far, or is this powerful surveillance a necessary evil in the modern world? Where do you draw the line?